Hey friends, welcome aboard. It's time for your October 2024 Cape Coral Real Estate Market Update. The big question this month is, where have all the buyers gone? We saw a noticeable decrease in buyers here in the Cape Coral market over the last month. We're going to dive beneath the surface to see where the buyers are and what to expect over the next few months. I'm Cessna, your Cape Coral real estate agent, and I'm here to steer you through the maze of headlines and YouTube noise to uncover the true story. Today, we dive deep into the numbers that truly drive our Cape Coral real estate market. What are homes actually selling for? Are we still in a buyer's market? Are we shifting towards a neutral market? How is the election affecting sales here in Cape Coral? And did interest rates just drop below 6.5%? Should you be making moves in, out, or staying put? I've got the facts you need to make informed decisions about your next steps in the Cape Coral real estate scene. Remember, the headlines often paint an incomplete picture. That's where I come in. Whether you're considering buying, selling, relocating, or investing here in Cape Coral, I'm here to provide the insights and guidance you need. Schedule a video consultation with me by clicking the link in the description below, and let's navigate this market together. All right, let's dive in and see exactly what the numbers are telling us here for the October 2024 market update in Cape Coral.
Hey friends, welcome to the Cape Coral Market Update for October 2024. We've got a lot of great information to uncover. We're going to look at the current numbers here at the end of September 2024. We're going to compare those numbers back 90 days to June 2024. Then we're going to go back an entire year to September 2023. Welcome aboard. My name is Cessna, your Cape Coral real estate agent, and I can't wait to show the numbers to you. One of the things that really stood out to me for the month of September is the amount of closed sales. We dropped off quite a bit from the month prior. And typically we don't drop off this much until we get into October or November. Now there's a lot of reasons that could be happening, and we're going to dive into those. I think one of the main reasons is the election, but we've got a few other ideas as well. So we're going to take a look at those going forward. So let's go ahead and jump right into the numbers. First thing we're going to look at is market indicators. In order to know exactly what's going on in the market, we have to know what to look for. So first thing we're going to look at is inventory. How much active inventory is currently available here in the city of Cape Coral? Now these are single family homes. Next up, we're going to look at median price point. 50% of the homes sold above this amount and 50% of the homes sold below this amount. Days on the market. How many days are homes sitting on the market prior to going under contract? Another indicator of demand is closed sales. How many closed sales do we have for the last 30 days in the month of September? First up is active inventory. So for September 2024, we have 2,573 homes currently available in the city of Cape Coral for sale. Now, June 2024, we had 2,691 homes available. In September 2023, we had 2,052 homes available. So as you can see, we took quite a jump from September of last year to September of this year. However, we peaked right around April or May of this last year. We were close to 2,800 homes on the market, and now we're sitting just under 2,600 homes on the market. So as you can see where we're going to, and that's an indication of the time of the year. This time of the year we are a slower market, so we don't see as many homes getting put on the market. However, we did have some strong buying periods there over the summer that did take a lot of that inventory off the market. I believe we'll sit right around this number for the next few months until we get into December, January, as we start ramping back up for season. Next up is median price point. So for September 2024, we had a median price point of $379,900. June 2024 was $393,378, and September 2023 was $400,000. So as you can see, year over year, we did take a bit of a drop here for the overall single-family home market here in the city of Cape Coral. As you can see by my chart here, we did peak out. January, we had a really good month last year, and then through season, we stayed pretty consistent, and then we started to drop just a bit through the summer to where we are now. Is that number going to continue to drop? It could. One of the biggest things that's keeping demand on the sidelines right now is the election, and interest rates were so high going through the summer. Now, a lot of these, this price point here is because these homes did not get locked in until around the middle of August, meaning that interest rates were still pretty high around that time frame. So let's go ahead and move forward and see what's going to happen for the month of October as we go forward. Next up was days on the market. September 2024, we had days on the market of 50 days on the market before going under contract. That was the median days on the market. June 2024, we had 47 days on the market. In September 2023, 32 days on the market. So we've been hovering right around 50 to 45 days on the market for the last several months. As you can see, going back the whole way to January, we've been hovering right around that amount. We did tick up just a little bit, but I'm not concerned about that. I think we're going to maintain hovering around that amount, at least for the next month or so. We might see that tick up just a little bit once we get into November. Closed sales. So how many closed sales do we have in the month of September 2024? We had 351 closed sales. June 2024, 487 closed sales. In September 2023, 415 closed sales. Now this is the number that I really want to stress that does draw attention to. September 2024, we only had 351 closed sales. Now just last month, August 2024, we had close to 400, I believe it was 481 was the number we finished August with. So we dropped quite a bit in September. Now there's definitely many things at play here. One would be obviously kids going back to school, so it's typically a slower sales time. The snowbirds haven't showed up to our market quite yet. They're still enjoying the end of summer up there in the north. And then we've got some other key players. One of those players is the election. Now a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines waiting for the election to see what's going to happen exactly. So there are a lot of people waiting for that. Interest rates hadn't started falling when most of these homes went under contract. So as we see these interest rates continue to fall, if they keep trending down like they have been, we may see that number actually tick up for October, which isn't typical. Usually they tick down from September to October, November, until we get into season before the closed sales start to tick back up again. As you can see, very healthy throughout the season, and then throughout the summer, we were very strong as well, right around 480. And then this last month, we just kind of took a drop. But I believe that has a lot to do with the election. And also, one of the other things that was really starting to play a part in it, as of August 17th, 2024, NAR put in some new rules where buyers have to now sign a buyer's agreement committing to pay their buyer's agent. There's a lot of confusion on this, so there's a lot of buyers just kind of sitting on the sidelines, not willing to sign that contract. Now, they are required to sign that contract per NAR if a buyer wants to go look at a house. So what's happening, they're thinking in their minds that they're actually committing to paying that money to their buyer's agent, which in a sense they are. However, they can always negotiate that, and we can still have the sellers pay for that. That can be negotiated into the purchase price. So there's a lot of confusion going on right now. I do have a good video on that one. I'll post at the end of this video that you can click on and learn more about what's happening there. But we are definitely seeing a lot of buyers sitting on the sidelines because of this. In fact, I had a showing canceled last week on one of my listings, and I called the agent to see what happened, and he said, my buyer won't sign the buyer's agreement. And unfortunately, this is a new reality. So you do have to sign that buyer's agreement. There's no way around that. The only exception to the rule is to go to an open house. So start hitting up those open houses if you don't want to sign it, but then if you do want to put a contract, you're still gonna have to sign it because that's the policy. So anyways, moving forward, that is hurting us a little bit, I think, as well as the election, and that's why we saw the 351 closed sales for the month of September 2024. Current trends. So we always want to look at current trends. We looked at the last week of August. We had new listings, 163 new listings. Last week of August, last week of September, we had 127 new listings. So we did tick down a little bit, but that's typical for this time of the year. Not as many homes are going to be going on the market because we don't have as many buyers here this time of year. Sold 125. Now, the last week of September, we actually did have 104 sold homes. Expireds. We always want to look at expired listings. How many listings are not selling? So we had 84 expired in September. And in October, the end of September, we had 80 expired. So that number is right around the same. So we're not seeing much of a challenge there in the market. Price decrease. This is where there was a big discrepancy or a big difference. Is 289 prices dropped in the last week of August. And then if we come down here, the last week of September, we only had 210 price decreases. So that's a big difference. And I think that's a lot of that is to do with people getting the prices right when they're listing, as well as others are just being patient. They're not too worried. They understand how the market's working right now, and they're not willing to just drop the prices to give the home away. So we're gonna see that probably stay about the same for the next few months until after the election. Once we get past the election, I think we're gonna see that price increase start to tick up, especially next January, February, and March. Other key numbers to be aware of. Sold price per square foot was at $250 a square foot. That's median here in the city of Cape Coral for a single family home. List price received, 98.3%. So the buyers still are not taking a lot off of that purchase price, that list price. Once they have that list price there, Homes are being sold at about 98.3% of that number. New listings, we did have 650 new listings hit the market in the city of Cape Coral. That's single family listings in the month of September. So we still have a very active market, still have a lot of homes coming to the market. A lot of options to choose from. Months of inventory, 7.3. We ticked up here quite a bit. Last month we were at 5.9, 5.8, somewhere in that range. This month we're at 7.3 months of inventory. Anything over 6 months is considered a buyer's market. So we are definitely in a buyer's market, and we're going to hang out there for the next few months until we get into season. So if you're a buyer, watch the rates, they're coming down. A lot of people sitting on the sidelines, they may not want to buy before the election. Might give you a great opportunity to come in and get a good deal. Key numbers to look at: inflation peaked at 9.1% in June 2022. We're now sitting at 2.5%. That's huge. The last few months we were hovering right around 3%, just over 3%, and then I believe last month we came down to about 2.9, and now we're at 2.5. So that's what the Feds were wanting to see. As we're getting that closer to the 2% range, I believe we may see interest rates come down even further. Interest rates currently, or in November 2023, we peaked out at 8.01%. We're now sitting at 6.26%. Now, like I've been saying for the last several months, our target was to get under 6.5%. Once we get under 6.5%, I believe the market's going to loosen up. Now, we did see in the month of September quite a jump of mortgage applications being filled out. So that means people are willing to jump into the market with these lower rates. And the only thing holding us up right now, I believe, is that election. Once we get past the election, we're going to see more and more buyers start to enter the market. But people are really concerned about what's going on with the election, and they're letting that play a part in their choices. Unemployment is at 4.2% and starting to rise. Now, last month we were at 4.3%, so we did drop just a bit. However, we are slightly higher than we were the last several months. However, 4.2% is still a really low number for unemployment. Supply and demand. So supply here in the city of Cape Coral, we're currently sitting at 2,573 single-family homes available here in the city of Cape Coral for sale. That's a year-over-year increase of 25%. So I don't know, I mean, that's still a big number, but I don't know if you remember a few months ago when we did this report, we looked at it, we were sitting at like 50% year over year or 60% year over year because numbers jump quite a bit and so fast. But now we're starting to stabilize from where we were last September to where we are right now. It's only about a 25% increase. And as we go further, that number is going to keep following. Now, what I want to see it to be is right around 2,400. I believe 2,400 to 2,500 is a really healthy market. It gives buyers a lot of opportunities, but it gives sellers the right price for their home as well. It keeps the market pretty safe. Demand. Population is currently estimated at 231,000 people. Next 6 years, we're expected to be at 250,000 people. By 2050, we're going to be at 320,000 people. We're often considered one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. And you can see that as you drive around Cape Coral, everything that's happening here, all the new homes being built. Now, I did want to touch on new homes being built. New homes being built here in the city of Cape Coral, we're selling about 100 new homes a month. We've been like that for the last year. If those new homes were not being built in our area, prices in the area in Cape Coral would be substantially higher. I believe that's the only saving grace right now that's actually keeping prices a little bit lower, and where we're actually seeing them decrease a bit is that new construction, because we have a ton of new homes here going on the market every single month, keeping those prices leveled out. I did notice also, I've been talking to a lot of the bigger builders here in the area and some of the smaller ones, and they are starting to pause a little bit. They're starting to pull back. They're not building as much. So we're going to see how that plays out. But I think I don't think that's going to last very long, because once we get into season next year, we're going to start to see a lot of demand come back, because we'll be past the election, interest rates are dropping, and there's not much holding us back, and the buyers will be more educated on the buyer-broker agreement and what they need to do to get into these houses. Next up is now the time to buy. So let's look at the different areas or different sections here that I wanted to go over. So many options. Right now you do have a lot of options to choose from. Our inventory is higher than it has been for the last couple of years, so we are sitting pretty there. A lot of options, still have a lot of nice homes coming to the market every single month. However, we are in an election year, so there are a lot of people sitting on the sidelines. I talked to a lot of my clients and potential clients, and they keep telling me, Barry, I want to buy, but I just don't want to buy until after the election. And I get that, I understand. However, I do believe that you're missing out on opportunity, because right now you don't have as much competition. If you wait till after the election, you're going to have a lot more competition, which may drive up prices. And also, when the new homes come available, you may miss out on those new homes because someone else might scoop it up. Buyer's market. We're currently in a buyer's market. We are 7.5 months of inventory. That means you do have the opportunity to negotiate a little better. And interest rates are starting to drop. So there is some opportunity and incentive for buyers right now to be buying a home. Take advantage of those lower interest rates. They're much lower than they have been for over a year. So a lot of good opportunity there. And then next up is the buyer-broker agreement. It's extremely important that you understand the buyer-broker agreement. If you don't understand what that is exactly, go and reach out to me. I'll explain it to you. But basically the bottom line is when you sign that buyer-broker agreement, you are committing to paying your real estate agent. However, before you look at a house, we can determine if the seller is willing to pay the real estate agent's commission or not. If so, we can negotiate that into the price, and then that'll be taken care of. So you're off the hook for that, and it'll mainly be like we've always done it. Now, I shouldn't say off the hook because the buyers and sellers have always paid it. It's just put into the purchase price, and that's how it's always been. And I believe we'll maintain that way throughout. But if the seller absolutely says, no, I'm not paying the buyer's commission, then you have a choice. You can either walk away and say, well, that house isn't for me, or you can pay the real estate agent's price that you negotiated. Now, what I'm seeing is more and more, and on my listings, one of the first things that the agents ask out of their mouth is, Barry, are the sellers willing to pay for my commission? My buyers want to know, is that going to be taken care of, or does my buyer have to pay it? And fortunately, my sellers are happy to do that. They understand the dynamics of the market and how that works, and they're willing to help pay for the buyer's agent's commission like it's always been. But I have heard stories of people doing that and the seller's not willing, and they're just not getting any showings. The buyers they won't even go to the house if they know that the seller's not willing to negotiate that. So be aware, if you're working with sellers, make sure that you're educating them on what's going on in the market as well as buyers. But don't worry about the buyer-broker agreement. Make sure that you communicate with your agent, and then you can work that out. But if you do have any questions or concern, reach out to me. I'll work it out with you. I'll help you out. I'll educate you, and we'll go find you the best house here in the city of Cape Coral. So is now the time to sell? That's a great question. If you're thinking about selling right now, if you need to sell, understand you can definitely sell a house right now, as we sold 351 homes last month here in the city of Cape Coral. However, a lot of people right now are prepping for after the election. A lot of buyers are sitting on the sidelines, so it may not be the best time to put your home on the market, but because the buyers are waiting. So it's a great time to prep your home, get it ready, make sure everything looks perfect and pristine, and have it ready for season. We are currently getting into our second home market, our fall buyers. So I always say to my sellers, you want to pray that it gets cold up north. You want that first snow to come as early as possible, because that's what's going to send the snowbirds down here. That's what's going to get them in that mood to buy, because they don't want to be here for the summertime. Or I'm sorry, they don't want to be here in the wintertime. Let's say that again. They don't want to be up there in the wintertime in the cold, frigid craziness of the north. They want to be down here enjoying the sunshine, golfing, boating, having all the fun down here. So they typically, as soon as it gets cold up there, they'll head down here and start looking to buy so they can have that house ready to go once January hits and be here enjoying life in Southwest Florida. So fall buyers are starting to come into the market. I haven't seen them come in as fast as I was hoping this year. I think election has to do a lot with that. Number 3, buyers skittish about the NAR rules. So the buyers right now are really skittish. Like I just talked about, they're not willing to sign these buyer-broker agreements. They're afraid that they're going to get stuck paying out of their pocket to the agent as opposed to it being paid out of the sell price. So as a seller, you do need to consider this. You need to understand that even though things have changed in the NAR website, the MLS, and the way that we do things nowadays, sellers, and the majority of sellers that I've talked to, are still willing to help the buyers with that buyer's agent commission. So we need to educate them. You as a seller need to understand that this is how it's working. If you've got 3 houses on your street and one of you is not offering that and the other one is, there's a good chance that that seller or that buyer is going to go to that house where the seller's offering to pay something to the buyer's commission. And to be very honest, I mean, that's how it's been working. That's what the clients are saying. That's what they ask me when they talk to me. What's happening, Barry? I can't pay it. I need the seller to pay it. So that's the road we go down to. So just be educated on that. Again, there's a video I'll post at the end of this video that you can click on and learn a lot more about that. But as a seller, you need to understand what's happening here in the city of Cape Coral and throughout the entire United States, since this is nationwide. All right, well, thank you for joining me on this market update for October 2024 for the city of Cape Coral. Hope you got a lot of great information out of here. Now, if you are interested in buying, selling, investing, or relocating here to the city of Cape Coral, I'd love to help you out with that. We do have a great out-of-town buyers program where I can educate you on that and make it real simple to buy a house here, even if you're not in the area, as well as sell your home here, even if you're not in the area as well. We've got a lot of systems in place to make that happen smoothly. Would love to chat with you about that. Hope you have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you, making realty dreams a reality here in the city of Cape Coral.